What if I told you that in just a few minutes a day, you could wake up tired skin, erase puffiness, and look years younger without expensive creams, injections, or hours in front of a mirror? All it takes is something you do every day, and the secret lies at the tips of your fingers. Increasing circulation for an instant glow is one of the most noticeable and immediate effects of facial tapping. And it stems from a very simple principle. When you stimulate the skin through light rhythmic touch, you encourage blood to move more freely to the surface. This boost in circulation brings with it a wave of warmth, color, and vitality, creating that refreshed, awake appearance many people describe as a natural glow. When blood flow increases, the skin receives more oxygen and essential nutrients, supporting its overall health and liveliness. While this isn't a medical treatment and shouldn't be seen as a cure for any condition, it can play a positive role in everyday skincare habits by encouraging a more energized look. Facial tapping works because the skin is highly responsive to touch. Even gentle pressure signals the body to send more blood to the area, and this temporary increase can make the skin appear brighter and more vibrant. It's similar to how your cheeks warm up and change color when you laugh, blush, or spend time outdoors in cool weather. The skin responds to stimulation with visible changes. The tapping doesn't need to be intense or forceful. In fact, the best results come from soft, consistent motions that stimulate rather than stress the skin. This gentle process can help the face look more rejuvenated within a short period of time, making it a convenient technique when you want a quick boost before an event or after a long day. The glow that people often notice after tapping is also connected to heightened sensory awareness. Because tapping affects the nerve endings just beneath the surface, it can make the skin feel more awake, which often translates into looking more awake. This heightened sensation increases your connection to your own facial expressions and muscles, which may contribute to a more vibrant appearance overall. The warmth that follows tapping comes from the natural movement of blood, and this warmth helps the complexion appear softer and more radiant. This technique can be done anywhere and requires no tools, making it accessible and easy to incorporate into a busy routine. You don't need to press hard or follow complicated patterns. Even a simple sequence tapping around the cheeks, forehead, and jawline for a few seconds at a time can help stimulate circulation. The effect may be temporary, but its immediacy is what makes it appealing. It has a quick way to refresh your face when you're feeling tired or want to look more alert. For many, this becomes a grounding practice because it combines physical stimulation with intentional focus, bringing attention to the breath and posture as well. Although tapping can't replace long-term skincare or professional treatments, it offers a momentary lift that feels good and shows on the surface. The glow isn't created by makeup or external products, but by your body's own natural responses. When circulation increases, the skin reflects that internal movement in a subtle yet visible way, creating a fresher and more energized look that people often associate with youthfulness and vitality. Reducing puffiness through lymphatic drainage is one of the most noticeable benefits of facial tapping because the lymphatic system is responsible for moving excess fluid away from the tissues and back into circulation. When fluid accumulates under the skin, especially around the eyes, cheeks, and jawline, the face can look swollen or tired. Gentle tapping can encourage this fluid to move, creating a clearer, more defined appearance. The lymphatic system doesn't have its own pump like the heart, so it responds well to physical stimulation. Light, rhythmic tapping serves as a form of manual encouragement, helping the lymphatic flow become more efficient in the areas you stimulate. Facial puffiness often appears after sleeping, crying, consuming salty foods, or spending long periods in the same position. These are everyday occurrences, and tapping can be a simple way to address that temporary swelling. When tapping is applied along natural lymphatic pathways, typically outward and downward, it can help guide excess fluid away from the face. This doesn't require pressure or force. The lymphatic vessels lie close to the surface of the skin, so firm movements aren't necessary. Gentle tapping can provide enough stimulation to encourage fluid to shift, leading to a more sculpted and refreshed appearance. The technique works not only by influencing fluid movement, but also by awakening the tissues. When tapping activates the skin and the underlying fascia, it increases awareness in that part of the face. This awareness can help you relax muscles that may unknowingly be tense, particularly around the jaw and forehead. When these muscles soften, the surrounding tissues can function more easily, allowing fluid to move with less resistance. Many people notice that after tapping, the face feels lighter, less congested, and noticeably more open. Another reason tapping can reduce puffiness is its effect on circulation. When blood flow increases and lymphatic flow becomes more active, the two systems work together to create a natural decongesting effect. Blood brings oxygen and nourishment to the cells, while the lymphatic system carries away waste and fluid. The balance between these two processes contributes to the appearance of reduced swelling. While this isn't a medical treatment and shouldn't be used as a substitute for professional care when dealing with health concerns, it can be a gentle addition to a daily routine for those looking to refresh their appearance. Tapping is accessible because it doesn't involve tools, products, or complicated instructions. Anyone can perform it in front of a mirror, during a break, or while applying skincare. The key is consistency and gentleness. Even short sessions, 30 seconds around the eyes, a minute along the jawline, a few soft taps around the cheekbones can help encourage fluid to move. Because puffiness often results from temporary factors, these small actions can create visible changes in a short period of time. The psychological effect of tapping also plays a role. When you take a moment to touch your face with intention, it shifts your awareness from stress or tension to a simple act of self-care. This mindful pause can help reduce the feeling of heaviness or sluggishness in the face, complementing the physical reduction in puffiness that comes from lymphatic stimulation. Waking up facial muscles for a lifted look is often one of the fastest ways to create a more energized and refreshed appearance, and tapping plays a simple role in this process by activating areas of the face that tend to become sluggish throughout the day. Facial muscles, like any other muscles in the body, respond to stimulation, and tapping provides a gentle way to switch them on without strain or effort. Many people don't realize how often their facial expressions get stuck in habitual patterns: tension in the jaw, heaviness around the eyes, or a drooping feeling through the cheeks. Gentle tapping can serve as a reminder to the muscles to re-engage, helping the face appear more lifted and awake in a natural, temporary way. The muscles of the face are small and delicate, but they're deeply connected to our emotional habits and daily routines. When you sit at a computer, concentrate for long periods, or feel stressed, certain muscles become overworked while others become underused. This can leave the face looking tired or weighed down. Light tapping across areas like the cheekbones, temples, and forehead increases awareness of these muscles. As the sensation spreads, the muscles subtly activate, giving the face a more lifted appearance. It isn't about forcing the muscles into a new shape, but rather reminding them of their natural tone and responsiveness. Another aspect of tapping that contributes to a lifted look is its influence on circulation. When blood flow increases in the muscles, they become warmer and more elastic. Warm muscles respond more readily to movement, which can make facial expressions feel easier and more open. This can create the visual effect of soft elevation in areas that tend to sag when tired, such as the mid-face or eyelids. While tapping doesn't produce dramatic or permanent changes, the temporary refresh can be noticeable enough to brighten the overall expression. Tension release is an additional element that makes the face appear more lifted. Certain muscles, especially those along the jaw, around the eyes, and between the eyebrows, often hold tightness without us realizing it. This tension can pull the face downward or inward. When tapping is applied over these areas, it encourages the muscles to relax. Once that tightness begins to ease, the natural contours of the face become more visible. Relaxation can create a sense of openness in the features, which people often interpret as a lifted or more youthful look. The rhythmic nature of tapping also influences the nervous system in a way that can indirectly affect facial posture. The sensation is soothing, repetitive, and grounding, which can help reduce stress-related muscle holding. As stress levels decrease even slightly, the face tends to soften and lift on its own. This shift doesn't come from effort, but from allowing the muscles to return to a more natural resting state. Many people find that after tapping for a short time, their eyes seem more awake, their smile feels less forced, and their facial tone looks subtly elevated. Incorporating tapping into daily routines is simple and doesn't require technique-heavy instructions. Whether used in the morning to wake up the face or in the afternoon to counteract fatigue, tapping offers a quick way to reconnect with facial muscles. Even a few seconds of tapping along the cheekbones, sides of the face, or brow area can help stimulate the muscles and bring more life to the expression. Boosting energy and mental alertness through tapping comes from the way rhythmic touch affects both the body and the mind, creating a moment of stimulation that feels refreshing and awakening. When you tap gently on your face, you activate the sensory nerves that sit close to the surface of the skin. These nerves carry signals to the brain that increase awareness and attentiveness, much like splashing cool water on your face. The light pressure and repetitive movement serve as a physical cue that shifts you out of sluggishness and into a more present state. This effect is subtle but noticeable, offering a quick way to feel more awake without relying on intense physical exertion or stimulants. The face is rich in nerve endings, which is why even a small touch can create a strong sensory response. When tapping is directed at areas like the temples, cheekbones, or along the jaw, the brain receives a steady stream of sensory information. This input can help interrupt the heaviness or fogginess that builds up during long periods of concentration or inactivity. Instead of pushing yourself mentally, tapping provides a gentle, external way to restart your focus. This can be especially helpful during midday slumps or moments when your energy dips and you need a brief reset. Another reason tapping can make you feel more alert is because it encourages a shift in breathing. Many people unconsciously hold their breath or breathe shallowly when tired or stressed. As you tap, you naturally tend to inhale a bit more deeply or exhale more fully, which increases oxygen flow. More oxygen can help you feel clearer and more engaged. This isn't about controlling the breath or performing structured exercises. The change happens naturally as your body responds to touch. The physical stimulation, combined with slightly deeper breathing, creates a sense of awakening that feels grounded and calming at the same time. The rhythmic nature of tapping has a psychological effect as well. Repetition helps the mind reset, breaking up cycles of distraction or mental fatigue. It offers a moment of sensory rhythm that acts almost like a mental reset button, pulling attention away from stress or monotony. This shift in focus can create a feeling of renewed clarity. Because the movement is simple and requires no learning curve, you can use it whenever you notice your attention drifting. A few seconds of tapping can help you reconnect with your surroundings and your body, making it easier to return to whatever task is in front of you. Tapping also brings warmth to the skin, and that warmth can contribute to a sense of energy. When blood circulates more actively, the face feels more alive and the mind often responds with increased alertness. This interconnection between physical sensation and mental sharpness is part of why simple touch can have such a noticeable effect on how awake you feel. While tapping isn't a replacement for rest or sleep, it can provide a natural boost during moments when you need to feel more present and energized. The combination of sensory stimulation, increased awareness, and a brief interruption of mental fatigue makes tapping an accessible way to support alertness in everyday life. Triggering relaxation and stress relief through facial tapping works because the practice directly engages the nervous system in a calming and grounding way. The face, full of sensitive nerve endings, is closely connected to the body's stress response. When tension builds, whether from work, emotional strain, or physical fatigue, the muscles in the face, particularly around the jaw, forehead, and eyes, often tighten without our conscious awareness. This tension can lead to a heavy, rigid appearance and even contribute to headaches or eye strain. Gentle tapping, however, sends soothing signals to the brain, encouraging muscles to release their grip and signaling the body that it is safe to relax. This immediate feedback loop between touch and nervous system response helps reduce the physical manifestations of stress quickly. Tapping also engages a concept known in some wellness practices as somatic awareness, which is the ability to notice and consciously respond to sensations in the body. When you bring your focus to your facial muscles through tapping, you create a moment of mindful presence. This awareness allows tension to be identified and released rather than ignored. Many people carry stress in the face without realizing it, manifesting as clenched jaws, furrowed brows, or tight cheeks. By intentionally tapping over these areas, you invite a subtle shift in muscle tone. Over time, even short sessions of tapping can help retrain the body to hold less tension naturally, promoting ongoing relaxation. The rhythm of tapping contributes significantly to its calming effect. Repetitive, gentle motion has a pacifying influence on the nervous system, similar to rocking a baby or listening to steady, soothing music. The brain interprets this repetition as predictable and safe, which can reduce the production of stress hormones like cortisol. This calming influence may also extend beyond the face itself, creating an overall sense of serenity in the body. Because tapping is simple and non-invasive, it provides a low-effort way to access this relaxation response even in the middle of a busy or stressful day. Another factor in the stress relief benefits of tapping is its effect on circulation and lymphatic flow. When the face is stimulated gently, blood flow increases and tissues receive fresh oxygen and nutrients. This physical refreshment can make the skin feel lighter and the muscles softer, which in turn reinforces the psychological sensation of relaxation. The combination of physical ease and mental focus creates a dual effect, making the experience both sensory and cognitive. People often notice that after tapping, their features look less tight, the jaw feels lighter, and the area around the eyes appears more open, which mirrors the internal sense of calm. Tapping also encourages a small shift in posture and attention. When you focus on moving your fingers across your face, your mind momentarily leaves behind stressors, distractions, or racing thoughts. This brief pause in mental activity allows the nervous system to reset. While it's not a replacement for deep meditation or other stress management practices, tapping offers a quick and accessible tool to relieve tension instantly. Because the technique is entirely under your control, you can adapt the duration, speed, and areas tapped to suit your needs, making it a flexible method for encouraging both relaxation and a sense of well-being. Creating a quick, daily self-care ritual through facial tapping is a simple yet powerful way to integrate intentional moments of attention and nourishment into your life. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to overlook small gestures that prioritize our well-being, but tapping offers a method that is both accessible and effective. By dedicating even a few minutes each day to gently stimulate your face, you establish a routine that signals to your body and mind that you are valuing yourself. These short, consistent practices can transform the way you feel and look, not because of dramatic overnight changes, but because of the cumulative effect of daily care. The ritual itself becomes a moment to slow down, reconnect with your body, and cultivate a sense of mindfulness that extends beyond the mirror. Daily tapping works on multiple levels, starting with the physical. The gentle motions increase circulation, activate facial muscles, and encourage lymphatic drainage. Over time, this repeated stimulation supports healthier skin tone, reduced puffiness, and a lifted, more vibrant appearance. While the immediate effects can be noticed within minutes, the longer-term benefits come from consistency. Incorporating tapping into a daily routine ensures that your face receives regular attention, which helps counteract the effects of stress, fatigue, and environmental factors that can dull or sag the skin. Unlike more complicated skincare routines that require multiple steps or expensive products, tapping is effortless, requiring only your fingertips and your own awareness. The psychological impact of a daily ritual is equally significant. When you make a conscious choice to dedicate a few moments solely to yourself, you are sending a message to your mind that self-care matters. This act of intention can reduce stress, improve mood, and foster a sense of personal empowerment. The routine itself becomes a small anchor in the day, a moment to pause, breathe, and focus on sensation rather than distraction. Because it is brief and adaptable, tapping can be performed at different times, in the morning to wake up the face, midday to refresh and energize, or evening to release tension accumulated throughout the day. These moments, though short, build a consistent pattern of self-attention that can positively influence overall well-being. The ritual of tapping also encourages mindfulness. As your fingers move rhythmically across the face, you naturally become more aware of muscle tension, skin texture, and areas that may need gentle attention. This awareness creates a connection between body and mind, heightening sensitivity to subtle changes in both appearance and emotional state. Over time, this mindfulness can extend beyond the tapping routine, influencing posture, facial expressions, and even emotional responses. By consistently engaging with your face in this focused way, you train yourself to notice tension or fatigue early, allowing for timely intervention and more proactive care. Another benefit of establishing a daily tapping ritual is its adaptability. You can combine it with other routines, such as applying moisturizer, performing deep breathing, or listening to calming music. The flexibility of the practice allows it to fit into various lifestyles and schedules. Unlike rigid self-care methods, it can be brief yet meaningful, reinforcing the idea that self-care does not have to be complicated to be effective. With consistent practice, this ritual becomes not only a method for physical rejuvenation, but also a symbolic act of respect for your own time, presence, and well-being.